Um, so yeah, I mean, it just depends, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't get it, but that is a lot. And it also depends how many links it has. You know, if it has 100 links and 95 of them are the same exact thing, that's kind of a bad sign. So it depends on the quality of the links and how many links it has. And from Tom, I don't honestly, Tom, I don't know the technical stuff. I just use them the way I show. I've had no problem with it. I don't know what you're asking about. But remember also using their name servers is fine. I mean, I wouldn't keep using them and using them if you have tons of network sites. But so many people use Host9 that those name servers are used for every single account. The same name servers. It's not somewhere else where they keep changing them up. Like ASO hosting, you'll get like ns61 dot whatever their thing is .com. Then for another account, you might get ns23. So they use ns1, 2, and 3 .speedy DNS on every single account. So those DNS are so much more common that you kind of blend in. But again, I wouldn't keep using them over and over and over and over again if you have like tons and tons and tons of sites like I do. But yeah, I mean, I just set up private name servers with them, Tom. Where I just, set up the name servers like I would anything else, the private name servers. Or you can use A records. I mean, you can put the IP in as an A record. If you're looking to join the Facebook group, you got to message me on Facebook. The directions are on the home page of your members there. A lot of people post on my Facebook wall. I didn't even look at my wall. So if you post on my wall, I rarely look at my own wall. So let me get some new questions here. And also, the thing about posting on my wall is that people can see your receipt and email and then try to message me using the same thing, and so that's why I don't do the wall thing, except in rare occasions. Alright, so I got your first question from Philip. I mean, Google Keyword Planner just came, so I doubt it'll go away. So I wouldn't worry about that, Philip. Personally, I only buy at auction, Ken. Auction and pre-release, which is pretty much an auction. So yeah, I mean, those two are the two I stick to. Just because those were the best domains come from. I'm sure you can do it. People do other stuff, and they pick out some decent domains, I'm sure. And you're talking about totally expired domains, Rich. I haven't done it in a while, just because again I'm looking for higher quality sites. But I'm sure because expired domains are usually the ones that go through auction and no one buys them. So I'm sure there are some good ones that slip through, but for the most part, I stick with auction. And you're gonna have more trouble trying to find better domains in the expired domains section. Yeah, we tried to switch it up, Phil. Whoops. I don't know why they would tell you that, Michael. I've done it, and I do it. I mean, it's just like any other service. I don't know why. That's weird. People are having trouble with that. I mean, you set up the name servers in the cPanel. You set up the name servers with your domain, whoever you have your domain with, to the IP, and then you just set the name servers. I mean, I haven't done it in a while with Host9, so I don't know if something changed. But I'll look into it. Yeah, Moz has been picking up PBN links. We're been trying to figure it out. So link privacy didn't work either, Dave. It seems they are, Moz is doing something where they're getting through. Even though if we're blocking the IP range, the bot, we don't know what they're doing yet, but some of them are getting through for Moz, which is funny because they talk about, uh, privacy stuff and how they're all about privacy, yet they aren't sticking to their own rules where they're not obeying our sites. We're telling them we don't want your bot picking up our links, yet they're bypassing it. So, all right, Elizabeth. I mean, it depends on you, Elizabeth. I don't know the exact situation. But I mean, day job killer is a good way to go because it's easier to rank. I mean, affiliate products can be good too. Local, I mean, anything really, Elizabeth. I would just start with like easier keywords. Day job killer can be easy, and then long tail affiliate keywords. Again, local, a lot of local stuff's easy to rank. So I mean, really anything. Start with that. From Cheryl. What do you mean buy from an affiliate, Cheryl? I mean, yeah, any site can really be used as a money site, so the answer is most likely yes. But I don't know what you mean by buy from an affiliate. I guess if you mean buy from someone else, I mean, yeah, absolutely, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, and it looks like George is able to set up the host 9 thing. From Mike. Yeah, you have to. I would put up an article of your own. There don't have to be like great quality, Mike, but I wouldn't have like spelling and structure errors. And I would use unique content, but it doesn't have to be like really good content. I never use good content. As long as the spelling's correct, the sentence structure's correct, I don't worry about the quality at all. So, all right, let me go get another screenshot. From Ken. Not quite sure what you're asking, Ken. Explain the ranking listings on Google. I mean, they're just like any other rankings, Ken. They just have a lot of power because they're popular places. And then we can build properties off them and kind of use that power they already have to rank on Google. I mean, they find them any other, just like they do anything else, Ken. And they actually find them easier because they're so high with authority. They're so popular. So, if you have a Facebook account, you just have a page on Facebook, all right? Whereas if you have a website, you own that website. All right, from Paul. No, I mean, there's no problem with that, Paul. But you always want to make sure that, um, they don't already have like a ton of spammy links going to their sites, because that's usually a penalty. In that case, I would just have them start a new site, but no, there's no problem with that at all. From Chris. Nah, I wouldn't worry about that, Chris. That's just, that's stuff you can't control. I've bought a lot of domains. I've never had that problem, so I wouldn't worry about that. From Wilson. Yeah, yeah, no problem with that at all. From Tom. I mean, I don't use the same IP, Tom. I use whatever IP the site's on. That's how I set them up from what I remember. I haven't done it in a while with Host 9, but yeah, I mean, I used whatever IP the site was on. From Pat. No, no, it doesn't have to be aged, Pat. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't have to be. From Cheryl. No, I'll build PBNs for all my sites if I want to. So you don't. I mean, you can do that if you want. That's being extra careful, Cheryl. But you can build a PBN site. You can have a PBN site and use it for many of your sites if you want. From Rob. More links probably, Rob. Now I would need to see your anchor text ratio, but I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook, but videos, it seems the links from videos seem to be kicking in a lot later. Like, if you do a link, like if I hit a video with a bunch of links from my network or something, it won't move for like a month and a half, then all of a sudden it'll jump up real quick. A month and a half later, so. And if you have a network, Rob, I would hit it with blog network links. From Tom. They want to rank for Yanmar. Let me see. I wouldn't even try to rank for that. With that keyword, you got huge sites ranking. You got Wikipedia here, eBay. I mean, it would be possible getting here, but what's the point of that? There's more long tail keywords you can rank for a lot easier. They'll convert a lot better. So I would just tell them it's not worth it. And if they didn't like that, I would just say, well, there's nothing. I mean, it's just not, like if they want to pay you to try to rank for it, that's fine. But I would really push that to let them know that long tail keywords would be the better option, especially in this case. Because I mean, there's not really any point in spending so much resources trying to rank for something that's probably not going to hit the top of the first page. Hitting the bottom of the first page would be enough work. So. Alright, Ken, so an LSI is like, think of it as like a synonym, so let me bring up Notepad here. If you have, like Texas lawyers, Texas lawyers, then LSI would be like lawyers in Texas, okay? It stands for latent semantic indexing or something like that, but the simple term is kind of like a synonym. Even something like Texas lawyers can be considered LSI, or I'm sorry, Texas attorneys. It's early. Or attorneys in Texas. So it's basically just stuff that's very similar to the keyword you're talking about. All right, LSI. From Rich. No minimum, Rich. Remember domain authority and page authority, they're just filtering stuff that we use to find good sites. So we're just using them to more filter. Like, we helps find us the good sites, and it gets rid, so we have less data to look at, okay? But there's not really a minimum. Well, I mean, I guess there can be a minimum domain authority. I would say bare minimum is 15, and that's pretty low. I'm sure there's sites that are actually below that have decent. Because I mean, you can have one really good link, and the domain authority can be low, but it can still be worth it. So it's tough. But if I had to pick a number, I would say bare minimum would be 15. But page authority, that mixes with domain authority, so that's a little different. When you're looking at the links, but yeah, looking for bare minimum, like overall domain authority of the site you're looking at, I would say 15. Although there's not really a minimum, it's all about the links. We should have that in our members area, Paul. If not, go to wordpress.org and do a search for it. You'll find it there. But you actually got to go to wordpress.org because it's not in the, like if you try to find it from a website, you go to add plugin or search plugins from your WordPress, your inner WordPress thing, you're not going to find it in there. You have to go to wordpress.org and do a search for it on their actual website and then download it. But I thought we had that in our members area. But a few people have asked about that, so I'll see if we don't have it in there. From Wilson. Whatever you want, Wilson, doesn't matter. Whatever makes sense to be there. For your money sites, you obviously want good content because that you need to convert. So you just want whatever content makes sense. For some sites it may be an opt-in, kind of like a squeeze page where it's just a little bit of content and an opt-in form. For some sites it might be a whole bunch of content. Maybe it's like the investing niche, and a lot of people who are going to make investments, they want to read about what you're about, and they want to know, what you're talking about. So that would probably entail a lot more content. So it depends on what you're trying to do, or what niche it's in, and all that stuff. But just have something appear that makes sense to appear. All right. From Cheryl. Yeah. You can just go by privacy, Cheryl, and it will block that. From Ken. I just get it in the channel URL, Ken. So just, I think my channel, one of my channels, excuse me. Whoops. Is Me Love Money? Is that my channel? Yeah, so that will send them to my YouTube channel. Alright, just youtube.com/username will send them to my channel. And then if you want to send them to a specific video, these are stuff I comment on. Where's one of my videos? Alright, here's one of my videos. You would send them to this URL. Alright, so I'll just send them right here. And then if I wanted to go to my channel, again, you just youtube.com/channel name, which would be Love Money. From Tom. I never even check Tom really anymore because if it has good links, it's most likely going to be indexed, so I don't really even check that. And also, when I do my filters for Register Compass, I make sure I put at least one page is showing in Google, so that means it is indexed anyways. Alright, so the combination of that, if a page is indexed, the site's indexed, and then of course if it has good links, that's just another good sign. So, but I can actually show. I think I go over this in my videos. You go do your search. Just put above 0 right here. It says Google index greater than 0. That means at least one page is indexed. And that will only bring back sites that are indexed. But yeah, Tom, another way you can do it is, like you said, you can just do site and then sitename.com, and if that site's indexed, it will show up. Alright, so the sitename.com is an actual site because it's showing stuff. If we did something like, a bunch of random crap, if there's nothing like this, did not match any documents, then it's not indexed. Alright, like omgmachines.com is indexed, so this will show up. Alright, so that's the difference. For Philip. Cool, so Philip says that this has been talked about in the beginner group, Tom, or Michael. So if you want to message Michael on Facebook and ask to be put in the beginners group, looks like they've covered it in there. Or you can bring it up in the regular Facebook group. I'm sure people know in there. But yeah, I mean, I remember doing it a lot, so I know it can be done. From Paul. Nah, not necessarily, Paul. I mean, I just look for similar keywords. You know what I mean? Like, for beginners especially, you want to start with longer tail stuff, okay? So if you're a beginner, you don't want to try to rank for stuff like weight loss, okay? You want to target more specific stuff, like maybe weight loss for women over 40. Alright, because this is going to be a lot easier to rank for, and it's targeted. You know exactly who's going to be coming to your site. It's going to be women who are over 40, and again, you know what they're looking to do. Okay, so you can give them what they want. Then from there, I would just search for stuff that was similar. So maybe losing weight for women over 40, how to lose weight over 40, stuff like that. And you can also go to Google. Of course, you can use the keyword planner, but you can also type your term in, your main term. Like I could copy this, put it in, and then see what the suggestions are down bottom. What similar searches are people making. Okay, weight loss pills for women over 40. Weight loss supplements for women over 40. Weight loss for women over 40 diet plan. Amber and weight loss for women over 40. Hormonal weight loss for women over 40. So all this stuff you can get really good ideas from. Stuff like that. Alright, so that's kind of how I do my keyword research. I look down here, then you can type this stuff in and see what suggestions it gives you. And of course you can use the Google Keyword Planner to get any more ideas. From Ken. I mean, an authority site is a money site, Ken. It's usually an authority site is just like a huge, powerful site. Money site, of course, is a place you make money. Facebook and YouTube, they can actually be money sites, or money pages, I should say, would be the correct term. But most of the time, we kind of just use them as supplements. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, actually. Like, because let's go to Google and type in Nashville SEO. Oh, and by the way, I gotta leave by 9:45, so we can go until then if questions keep coming in. So if we type in Nashville SEO, we got our website here, okay? And we own this website. Then we got a YouTube video here, alright? So this is serving to help rank Nashville SEO a little bit, but it's also, it's like a property. It's one of our properties that we're ranking. If someone clicks on it, We have our information here. You can call Mike at this number. So it's helping generate leads, but at the same time, it's a property that we're also linking in Nashville SEO from. All right, same thing with the Facebook. The Facebook is the third listing, and there's Weebly, there's our Foursquare, there's our Yelp. These are all acting as properties that are helping us, kind of build our brand, generate more phone calls, and stuff like that. So, I mean, the major difference here is this is a page off Facebook, whereas NashvilleSEO.org is our website. And here's our phone number again. Okay, so we use stuff like Facebook and YouTube to kind of help fill up that first page, and also we link to our website from it, which is helping us, build that presence. Edgar. There should be a way to get rid of the drop down, Edgar. I'm not great with design stuff, but there should be a way to get rid of that. And that's probably a good question for the Facebook group. For Wilson. The most important thing, Wilson, would be anchor text ratios, and then where their links are coming from, like what types of links they got. Those are the two most important things. From Cheryl. Yeah, I would have to see exactly how that works, Cheryl. I would most likely make my own site. Sounds like they're making the site for you. I would most likely make my own site, but I don't know exactly what they're doing, so it's hard to answer. Alright, from Key. Yeah, I mean, just any one of those would be fine. Just, it depends on niche and competition. But yeah, no problem with that. From Ken. Yeah, so I just kind of covered that, Ken. We kind of just went over that. But let me know if you have further questions about that. Connie. Good morning, Connie. I wouldn't link out from your money site, Connie, because you don't really want to tie money sites together most of the time. I mean, you can, but I would be careful doing that. Now, if you have like one money site you want to do it from, but then you might be using your other PBNs to link to the other money site, which can kind of create like a big circle of linking, which they don't like. So just be careful linking from your money site. From Edgar. I mean, I wouldn't worry about that too much, Edgar. That's more like a stickler, kind of, so to speak, where you're just being extra careful. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. If you have a ton of sites like me, it's more something more to worry about. But 7 sites, I wouldn't worry about that. Wilson. I do have moniker. They're a pain in the butt sometimes. Yeah, I don't know, Wilson. Some of the places that Snap pushes to is really hard to navigate. Some of those domain registrars, like some of those I just use to set up the normal name servers. Like whatever name server I have with the hosting. So if it's host 9, I'll just use ns1.speeddns.net, ns2, ns3. So I won't try to set up private name servers or A records because it's so confusing in the darn domain registrar on how to do all that stuff. That for those types of accounts, I'll just use the normal name servers, just to save myself time. For Tony, I don't know what a capture page is, Tony, but as long as it's set up to make money, sure. Paul. Nope, doesn't matter if it's a new domain. NashvilleSEO.org was a new domain when we started with that, Paul. Wilson. I've never spammed a Google Plus, I don't think, but I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, it is connected to Google. I mean, there shouldn't be a problem with it because it's it's an authority site, but I've never done it. I don't know. I'll have to ask Jimmy about that if he's ever done that. Because I don't know why we never linked to Google Plus, but I don't think we have. From Elizabeth. No, I think with I'm pretty sure day job killer refers to like launch jacking, which is where you unless I'm getting things confused myself, which is where you rank for product names. When a product is coming out, you rank for that product name ahead of time, and then you kind of steal the traffic that they from that launch that's coming up. But I mean, you also can use, of course, My City SEO to rank and show customers, and also have customers come to you. If someone types in Nashville SEO, they see us ranking for everything, so they give us a call. They're looking for SEO, and we show them ahead of time that we know what we're doing. We kind of give them that proof ahead of time, and then they call us, so we kind of have everything in place. Very rarely, Rob. That's kind of the beauty of this is once you have a site that you've worked on, you've set up the content, you get your PBNs going to it and it's ranking, you can just leave it. Like I literally haven't touched KLKS in probably a month. And it continues to make a lot of money. So that's the beauty of affiliate marketing. Opposed to, working with clients and stuff. Then of course client stuff is a lot easier to rank for usually, which is the up to that. But affiliate stuff, if you get it working, if you can convert and all that stuff, and then start ranking, it can kind of be like an autopilot income. So. From Wilson. I mean, I would ask in the Facebook group maybe, Wilson, but I'll just kind of order articles from places like iWriter, stuff like that. I'll have to get the website ranked and then kind of bring on a partner or hire someone to do the conversion because I'm not good with that. So usually I'll get like a decent article up from iWriter, something that's good content. I'll put it in there, and then once it's ranking, I'll then have like a conversion person come in. So you can probably find that on the Facebook group if you're not good at conversion like me or English. From Philip. Yeah, I just did a video on this, Philip. Look in your news section in the last week or two. There was news about a couple videos I just did, and I cover this exact thing in great detail. But yeah, you can cover multiple topics. From Pat. You can use that filter, Pat, but it's just going to give you more data to look through, and a lot of that data is going to be bad domains. So, I mean, it's up to you. But, I mean, you can find good domains in there. They're just a lot harder to find. They're actually expired. From Wilson. Russell Wright and Sue's plugin, Wilson. And they are in the Facebook group. From Ken. Yeah, Link Juice Keeper, if there's an old site and you get this site that has all this links going to it, all the old pages aren't going to be there anymore. So if I have sitename.com/page, any links going to that page will be redirected to the home page. It redirects links going to non-existing pages to the home page. from Michelle. A money site is just, it's a site where you're trying to make money, Michelle. So it's kind of like your core. But I mean, YouTube, Facebook, and all that, they can kind of be considered money sites as well, or money pages, if they're helping you make money. You know what I mean? So, I mean, a money site's usually like your main thing that's making you your money, and you're linking to it from your YouTube or Facebook and all that. Whereas YouTube and Facebook are kind of more like money pages, kind of like additional properties. I don't buy links, Michelle. I buy the PBNs, and then the PBNs link to my money sites or my social accounts like YouTube, Facebook. From Pat. Yes, and it looks like Link Juice Keeper is in the members area. Thank you, Pat. From George. And George gave that as well. Thank you. Take a new screenshot here. From Philip. Oh, cool. Thanks, Philip. And Philip was just saying that it is in there. Yeah, I was pretty sure we had it in there. From Rich. That is correct, Rich. Yep. Absolutely. You already got started building your PBN. That's good. From Ted. Yeah, I keep a list of every post, Ted. I keep a spreadsheet where I'll do where I linked to, the date I linked, the anchor text I used, what PBN site I linked from, and then I'll have like a notes section for anything else. From Aurelio. Good morning. GardenCitySeeds.net. What I'll do is I'll go through this one, and then I'll go through your other one if we still got time at the end. What was that? SherbrookeWeb.com. And I'll go through this one if I get through all the questions. Alright, so we got... Let me get this up here. So we got high domain authority, high page authority, which is good. The linking root domains is about what I would want to see for this. Maybe a little high, but it's pretty close, so that's good. Oh, well, first, let me tell you, this is a redirect, okay? So you can see down here the URL redirected to a different site. So these are actually not the links that we want to look at, because this is a totally different site. So that's one thing you got to be careful of, and you can see that right here. And of course, a different domain appears up here. So you actually want to click on this link here, because we want to see what links are going to that site. All right. So this version only has one link, so we're not interested in that. So let's go to do the www version, and it will probably redirect again. So we want to be careful of that. Alright, so this one did not redirect. Alright. So this version is a domain authority 30, page authority 42, which is pretty good. The linking root domains match up pretty well, as in, like, this is about how many we'd want to see for domain authority 30, maybe a little bit high. which tells me the link quality may be a little low, but it could be alright. Could be some good links. I really like this link because, it has high page authority, high domain authority, and also it has to do with what it seems to have to do with what this site's about. Garden City Seeds would be something like to do with, Earth Green, whatever. And this top link is from Mother Earth News with high page authority, high domain authority, so that's a great sign. And it has branded anchor text. Alright, so if we bring up this site, it's a PR3, high Alexa ranking, and then I want to see how many links are on this page. There's not a ton of links so far. It's kind of loading slow. Decent amount of links. But it's a good link because it's relevant, high Alexa ranking, PR3, which is pretty good. So that's a good link there. And the rest of these I'll kind of just run through. And actually what I'll do is, to make this easier, I'll go by group by domain. Alright, so we had that one. We got a Blogspot link there. Come on. Alright, so a Blogspot link, which can be decent. Oh, we got an EDU link there. I really like that. And it has decent page authority and high domain authority. That's good. Another relevant link. That's not like a great domain authority. Page authority is pretty good. Here's another good one because it's, has to do with the sun, which has to do with the earth. Branded anchor text, pretty good page authority, high domain authority. So this is looking really good. This is the type of stuff I'm looking for. Relevant link. When I say relevant natural links, this is what I'm talking about. We got a site that seems to be about the Earth. Okay, then we got links from high domain authority Earth sites. A site about seems to be about the sun, which has to do with the Earth. An EDU link. Those are always good. So this looks like a good site. This is like a natural linking portfolio. We got some high domain authority, high page authority. Others with high domain authority, medium page authority, which is all good. So that's a good looking site. Alright, from Ken. I'm not as good with that type of stuff, Ken, but I'm sure there is. I just can't think of any examples. Yeah, but you can pretty much promote anything on YouTube as long as it's allowed. From Pat. I don't even know anything about that, Pat. I haven't paid attention to that, so I'm not sure. From Ted. I don't know if I've covered that yet, Ted. I can talk to David about possibly doing that. From Wilson. When you check the root domain, Wilson, it will show all the links, even going to the inner pages. So, alright, so let me go get a new screenshot here. From Janet. Whenever you do site name, you do it without www, Janet. Don't include the www in there, because that messes things up from what I believe. Just do whatever, it doesn't matter what's showing, just do sitename.com. Don't do the www in there. Alright, Aurelio. No, no file links definitely aren't bad, Aurelio. It's just, I don't really count them, so to speak. I'm not saying they don't help, but I personally just don't count them kind of towards, like, the power of the site. But they're not bad, necessarily. From Ted. You don't have to include every version, Ted. Just kind of when I mention it, I'll mix it up between some of them. but I won't go to where it's like unnatural. You know what I mean? So for Michelle. No, you don't have to worry about getting them up quickly, Michelle. They're fine, just sitting there, and they're ready to use whenever. You know, it's letting them sit there is no big deal. Wilson. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them, Wilson. Um, the main thing is just getting up something, and then they're probably going to help you rank your money site a little bit, like you're talking about. But you can also rank them by linking to them. So just depends what you're trying to do with them. From Janet. I don't use press releases much. I don't, but you definitely can, Janet. Definitely, 'cause press releases still rank well. So, and you can actually kind of use them like a Web 2.0 property, Janet. So that's a good point. From Michael. Most of the time I don't, Michael. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. From Michael again, what's the easiest way? I wouldn't worry too much about social shares, Michael, but a lot of people in our group, they'll post like on the Facebook group, like, can you please like my page? That's a pretty easy way to do it. And then just, I would, if I needed like a bunch more, I would probably hire someone. Just say, go get a bunch of natural shares and stuff like that. But I wouldn't worry too much about the social stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't help, it's just links are a lot more important. Alright, from George. I don't understand your question, George. To use this best. I mean, your PBN is what links to your money site, George, so I don't know if you're getting that confused. But you can re-ask that in a different way. I don't know if you're getting your terminology mixed up or if I'm not understanding it. DNS stands for Domain Name Server. Elaine, don't worry about that. It's just kind of technical talk. Aurelio, I cover this in a new video I did in the last week or two. It's in your members area under the news section, so you can check that out. I go in very great depth on that topic. Yeah, absolutely, Pat. That's you're pushing more juice. You know what I mean? You're making it stronger. So absolutely, Rich. It's in the supremacy setup, Rich. With the supremacy section, setting up your PBN from Key. Yeah, sometimes these social sites, especially lately, it seems like the links sometimes kick in a month or two later. So just give it some time, and it'll probably jump up later on. A perfect example of an authority site would be Facebook. A huge site. YouTube. Even Calcast.com is an authority site in a way because it's well known in that niche. Calcast.com, a lot of people who look for electronic cigarettes will see something about Calcast.com. An authority site is kind of just like a big site. Alright, that's kind of the best way to describe it. Monica. You don't need the NEMD, Monica, which means your exact keyword. You can do you can do a branded domain name if you want. You can do MonicaNiedbalski.com and go after SEO terms. It doesn't matter. having that SEO term in the domain just could make it a little easier. Makes things a little more vulnerable with over optimization, but it can make things easier. But you don't have to take that route. You can also do a partial EMD, like mycityseoservices.com. You can add another word in there, or mycityseofirm.com, something like that. From George. Me personally, I like .com and .org the best, and then .net, but all three of these are fine. I wouldn't go outside those three, though. From Wilson. I don't really use the spammy ones, Wilson, so I can't say because I don't have testing data for that, so I'm not totally sure about that. I would be careful with it. From Janet. Yeah, you can absolutely do that, Janet. I mean, if you're talking about like ranking like an Amazon page, Amazon is a powerful site, so they're already passing on domain authority from Amazon.com to your Amazon page. So I mean, it's just like a YouTube video or a Facebook page where it's going to rank easier. All right, so you can definitely use them to direct to your Amazon page and help rank that Amazon page. Wilson. Yeah, and I talk all about that a lot, Wilson. If it's already penalized, it depends how many links it has. Like if you just use PBN links, you can go back and change the anchor text. Now, if you fired a whole bunch of links from something like like a spam tool, then you probably just want to move on. So it depends on the situation and how many links the site has. All right, from Michelle. No, wouldn't use YouTube and Facebook to promote the PBN. We're not trying to promote the PBN sites, Michelle. We're using the PBN sites to help rank everything else, anything that helps us. So it's actually the other way around, where I would use the PBNs to rank Facebook or YouTube, if anything. The PBN is kind of just like the what's passing on the juice to what we want to rank. All right. From Wilson. I mean, too many referring domains. What I was talking about was when I was analyzing that site. If there's too many referring domains, like if we go back to here, let's pretend this was like 200 referring domains for 30 and 42. I've looked at some, you kind of get a picture of this with the more sites you look at, but I know that 200 would be too many for these numbers, because with 200 referring domains, the domain authority, page authority should be more up towards like the 50s range, all right? So if you had 200 for something that's 30, that tells me we have a lot of those 200 links or 200 domains would be low domain authority, and that's not what we're looking for. We want some higher domain authority in there. So that's what I was talking about there, where it correlates with what these numbers are with how many referring domains you have, how many root domains. And you kind of get a picture for that as you look at more domains, but that's what I was talking about, where this number kind of should match these numbers, and you get a picture for what should match what. Like a 30 should be in this range, maybe a little lower. I would like to see a little lower, but that's fine, so we do have some good stuff in here. But I'm guessing a lot of these other links are low domain authority down here. And they are. We start getting 27, 12, 16, 7, which are really low. But that's okay because we have some high ones up here. Alright? But if it was like 200, then most of these would all be lower, like 23, 16, 12. Alright? And that's not what we want. We don't want a whole bunch of links from a whole bunch of low authority sites. Rich. I mean, that's okay if you can get different IPs, Rich. I mean, how many? There's no number. And I switch it up. You know, like for my PBNs, I'll switch up the hosting because I have so many. So it depends like how many sites you have and all that stuff. This toolbar, I think it's the Alexa toolbar, maybe. I'm not totally sure. This is an old computer, so I'm not positive. From Paul. I don't care if it's a redirect, Paul, as long as the site I'm looking at has links to it. Okay, so I don't care about the redirect. You know, if we went back, let's see, like here, all right, this is a redirect. I don't care that it's redirecting. I just want to make sure I'm not looking at the site it's redirecting to. Okay, so I don't care about this site. I want to see what's going here, or to the www version, because it's the same thing. If there's good links going here, I don't care if there's a redirect or not. It's all about what links are going to this site, not this one up here. So you just want to make sure you look at the links that is being redirected to. That the links to the site that you're looking at, not the site it's being redirected to. From George. Okay, thanks, George. From Aurelio. Well, I didn't look at the full site, Aurelio. Let me go forward. I didn't look all the way through here. I would need to analyze the links more. But from what I saw, like a quick estimate, maybe like 150. But again, I would need to look at the other links. But I would say the 150 range, something like that. From Wilson. Yeah, let me get through these questions, Wilson, and I'll come back to that if we got time. Elizabeth. Nope, no clash, Elizabeth. A lot of people have that question. Doesn't have to be relevant. You don't got to worry about that. Not still using UAW, Rob, now. Not at all. From Wilson. Yep, that's exactly right, Wilson. Yes, you do. And again, I do cover anchor text in really good detail in the sink or swim method. Exactly how I do that. Alright, I'll get this last screenshot here, and then I'll get to those two domains if we have time, because I gotta leave in about 10 minutes. Because we are at the hour mark, and I gotta be somewhere by 10. So let's see. Yeah, WebMD is an authority site, absolutely. Wikipedia is one of the best examples of an authority site. From Wilson. In a way, Wilson, yeah. I mean, you can look at it that way. But you want to be careful about, and I cover this in that new video, like I mentioned a few times, it'll be in your news section. But I cover how you can link to, money sites from the same PBN, how you can set that up. But yeah, in a way, that's correct, Wilson. You just got to be careful with it. From Pat. A new site is a PBN. If it doesn't have links going to it, Pat, you're probably not going to get much juice out of it, or you won't get much juice out of it, I should say. From Michael. It can be recovered, Michael, but most of the time I just have them start a new site. The recovery process can be pretty in depth. Jimmy Kelly, who's affiliated with us, does this stuff a lot. The Penguin Recovery. He covered it at OMG Live, and people did take that information and recover client sites from it. But it is a process, and you gotta know what you're doing. So, me personally, I just tell them to start a new site. But I mean, if it's not an option, like you're saying, Michael, you can learn Penguin Recovery. You can talk to Jimmy and see if he can, help you out there. But I mean, I think it's always an option because even if they got brandname.com, you can do something else like brandname.net, brandname.org, something like that. You can always do something else. From Pete. Yeah, 20 to 30 days fine, Pete. You can do quicker. You can link to social sites with pretty much anything with any speed, so don't worry too much about that. From Tim. Exactly right, Tim. Yeah, that's the best way to go. Before you start a project, if you don't know what you're doing, I would ask about it and then start it. Definitely. Alright, so let me try to look at these domains in the next 5-10 minutes, and then we'll get rolling. I already did one for you, so I'll do this one, and then I'll go back to this one if we got time. One thing is I like the name of it already, because I can tell it's like some type of organization, most likely. Now this is another redirect, so we want to be careful. We don't want to look at this version. We don't want to look at this because it's a totally different site. So we just want to click on this here, make sure it brings up the right site. So there's nothing to this version, so let's try the www version. And it redirects again. Okay, so we want to make sure again we click this one because we want to look at this site. We don't want to look at a different site. Alright, so this one, 2837, which is a little low, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, because the 18 linking root domains, this matches up pretty well to this. This tells me if the domain authority and page authority is that high with just 18 referring domains, most likely this has pretty good links. Okay, and again, that's something you pick up. The more sites you look at, you can kind of correlate that with this number opposed to these two numbers. All right, but I can just look at this and say, okay, these links have a good chance of being good links. So we got 2 Wikipedia links, but they're no follow. Okay, I don't really like that link, so I don't blogger.ba. That's kind of like a social link. It's not bad, but I'm not like really excited about it. So we have a whole bunch of foreign anchor text, which can be hard to analyze. Domain authority, page authority isn't that great for this one. This is Blogspot, so that's not really that great. This is a regular site, but that's pretty low. That's from WordPress. So that can be a decent link there. Let's actually go see this. But so far, I'm not as excited as I was at first. Foreign links. There's nothing wrong with foreign links. They're just hard to analyze. But for me, so far, this isn't a site like I'm excited about. There's no really high domain authority, high page authority like we saw with the other one, and it's foreign links on top of that. Some foreign links at least. Yes, I'm not super excited about this domain. Now, of course, I'll go in and analyze links individually and look at the page rank of those links and all that stuff, but I'm not too excited about this site because there's not really any high page authority, high domain authority that are do follow that are not social sites like Blogspot. So, I probably wouldn't use this as a money site, I would find something better. If anything, I would use this as a PBN. I think that was your question. So let's go look at this, and then we'll get rolling here. I'll look at this one pretty quick. And just tell me, does going through these sites, like these examples, does this help you guys? And I'll check the question box when I'm done. Just let me know if it's helpful, like going through sites like this. Alright, so let's put in Sherbrooke Web. Alright, so yeah, it looks like helpful to everyone. That's good. Alright, so this version that's very low domain authority. So far I don't like it, but let's go check the www version. A lot of Facebook shares, that's good. But it looks like they're not natural because there's no tweets and no +1s, but then there's 1,100 Facebook shares, that they're probably unnatural. Alright, so what I see right here, we got low domain authority, low page authority. So I'm probably not going to be interested with it this low, especially for me. I definitely wouldn't be interested. Me personally, but if you're someone else who's on a really low budget, it could work from these numbers because you only got 5 root domains. They could be 5 pretty good links, even though these are low. But that's pretty low. 10's pretty low. But let's go see what they are. Yeah, that doesn't excite me too much. These two could be decent. These two are so low, and this is a no file list. That's out. That's out anyways. But this one is very, very low page authority domain. I don't even look at these. But these two we can look at. But 2 good links, I doubt these are going to be good enough to make this site worth it. And right away here, no page rank. Alexa ranking's good. That's one good thing, but right away I see so many links on this page. And it's like all links, so really it throws this link out the window of being like a good link. It's a page with all links on it, no page rank to it. And that's not everything, but that does factor in. The only positive, it's high Alexa, but that's there's not really any other links for this site except this one. And this is foreign. Alexa ranking's not that good. It's a page rank 3. Not a ton of links on the page. So, this has one decent link. And it's only decent. It's not that great. So, a site like this, for some people, it could be worth, paying $12 for. Maybe. But this is a pretty weak site. Alright, so I wouldn't... me personally, I would definitely never touch this site because I go after more powerful sites, but... even if you're a complete beginner, I would say this is a borderline site. You can find sites better than this. It has one good link. One decent link, I should say. And that's this one here. All this other stuff is kind of crap, so... Alright, guys, I gotta get rolling. I gotta be somewhere by 10. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this session. I'm gonna stop the recording now and get it in the bag, and I'll have David put it up. Let me answer these questions. Alright, yeah, it looks like that helped everyone. Everyone likes going through them, so cool. Alright, guys, next session is Monday night, Monday at 9:30 p.m. So it's actually like 13 hours later than what we did today. We're trying to switch it up a lot. Alright, everyone, I will see you on the next session. I'll get this recording up and get it over to David today. Talk to you all soon. Alright, so recording started. Today is the 7th of April. Don, there is a video from David, an orientation video that kind of tells you the different steps to make and all that stuff. From Jeff. No, you definitely don't need a certain amount of posts per site, Jeff. I usually only do posts when I'm linking out. Some people would do content just to have content without links in it. I'd find no need to do that. And I only do content when I need the links from it. That's it. From Gary. Yeah, I would say it matters how many it has, but that's not the end-all be-all. There's keywords that show no searches that can make a lot of money. But at the same time, if a search is showing a good amount of searches or a keyword, then that can be good news. So, it's not everything, but I would say it does matter. Is it necessary? I mean, if you're trying to sell the product, it's probably a good idea to review it. Yeah, and yeah, you can do that, Gary. But I would ask Fletch more about that. He's more conversion, more SEO, so he'd help you a lot better there. But yeah, I mean, I've done that where I recommend 2 or 3 products. Gary and I have actually my e-cigarette stuff. You know, my example sites. You know, I give like my top 3 e-cigarettes. And of course, my top recommendation sells the most. My second recommendation sells the second most, and my third sells the least. So, all right, bunch of highs. Let's go back to questions. Alright, from George. No, you don't need to do authorship on PBNs, George. Nope. Thank you, Heidi. For Brian. I do not avoid fake domains. They actually kind of attract me sometimes, Brian, because people, you know, a lot of people will ignore them because they think they're fake. I don't care what it says about the domain if the links going to it are strong. I don't care if it says fake, maybe fake, high PR, low PR. As long as the links are strong, that's all I care about. From Aurelio. I mean, mix I like common sense with who's ranking, you know, with like how many searches it gets and stuff like that. For example, car insurance. That term obviously is going to be very tough to rank for, right? But something like, you know, how to lose weight in 20 days, that's something that could be a lot easier. Let's go in how to lose weight in 20 days. Alright, so there's like, I would probably go in and check. There's probably no links going on. These are probably just ranking off authority, which I wouldn't worry too much about them. Like, I would check sites like this that aren't like huge sites and see if they have any links going to them. You can check with a service like Ahrefs. You know, so I would, you know, kind of ignore the top ones because they're ranking off authority. You know, we can beat them, and that's a long tail term, so we can like optimize for it really well. And that's the other thing, guys. When you see like these big sites like Yahoo, WikiHow, Wikipedia, the longer the term is, the harder or the easier it is to beat them for it. Okay, because you can optimize a lot better for that than they can, because they're not really necessarily trying to rank for that; they're just kind of rank for it naturally. Whereas if it's something like, you know, weight loss, that's going to be very, very hard to beat someone like Yahoo or Wikipedia for, because they're naturally probably getting a lot of links for. A lot of people link to them because it looks natural and that type of stuff. So the longer the keyword is, for the most part, the easier it is to outrank the authority sites. So what I usually do in a case like this, when there's a lot of authority sites on the first page, I'll just go and I'll pick a site that I've never heard of, and I'll throw it and see it in Ahrefs, see if it has any links. So it does have some links to it. In this case, I would probably throw it. I would either just look in here or throw it in Open Site Explorer and see what types of links they are. See, now these guys optimize for it. Let me go look at their anchor text. So I don't see any specific anchor text for how to lose weight in 20 days. So that's a good sign, but they do have links. So for as long as this keyword is, it's probably, I mean, it's not going to be easy to rank for, but I wouldn't say it's going to be hard. So just, you know, you got to weigh how much can this keyword make me? Is it worth, you know, medium to low competition? Medium, probably medium competition. Alright, let's see. Ken. Yes, more variations better. I still like doing that, Ken. Usually I do, Brian. Usually I do buy privacy protection for my money sites. Usually. From Alfred. Yes, still valid. Yep, still valid, Alfred. If I'm breaking up, let me know, guys. Sometimes GoToWebinar just cuts out for a little bit. From Jack. I don't worry about that, Jack. You know what I mean? Whatever comes, I can't do anything to change it, so I mean, I don't see it being a problem for us. From Bob. Never had that, Bob, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Might just be like a quick glitch for you. Alright, from Tom. I mean, you can set up a different way, Tom, where you do by lead or, by phone call or whatever you want. Or you can just have something set up with the client. They don't have to know really about the Google keyword tool. From Pete. A bunch of stats. I don't know what those stats are for, Pete. Alright, so I didn't get all Brian's question. That's a long question there, Brian. I'm not following it totally. I mean, the way I show in KLKS, with the pages I want to rank for, the keywords I want to rank for, that's how it works. When you want a page to rank for a certain group of keywords, you start firing with that group of keywords and small variations. I mean, as far as ranking the home page, I mean, it's the same thing. Whatever you want to rank the home page for, you send links with that anchor text to the home page. I get what you're saying. I have had happen where another page will rank for something that I'm not trying to rank for, but it's kind of rare for me. And they're probably just too similar. You know what I mean? But I haven't really had that problem too much. From Heidi. Yeah, I mean, I would probably get that fixed eventually, Heidi, because especially when you start building a PBN, they're gonna all be going to the same sites or on the same IP, different sites on the same IP, so I can start creating a footprint. So I would end up changing that if you can. And that's just my preference to be safe because I've had that hurt me. Yeah, I mean, I use Alexa to just determine quality of links sometimes. The higher the Alexa ranking for a link, the better it is. From M. Shah. I'm not sure what his demo is. You listed your question separately, Pete. I don't follow. I guess that's Majestic SEO stats you gave me, so I don't know exactly. The stats on that. So I'm used to OpenSite Explorer for that type of thing. I can't show a PBN site, just so I'd rather not show them when possible. I recommend you do the same thing. Don't try not to let anyone see your PBNs. It's just a safe way to go. Alright, from Brian. I usually find partners. I do the SEO and I let other people do everything else. Design, content, conversion. I focus on SEO. That's what I like doing, so that's what I focus on. I just kind of bring in a partner to do the rest. Alfred. Either one's fine. You can do regular or fan page. From Janet. Yeah, I mean I've done that, Janet. You're getting you're getting the age, which does help. It gives you some more trust. The site's been around longer. It's not brand new, so yeah. I mean it's definitely an advantage to that, and I've done it. From Tom. Yeah, I mean you can do age domain or a new domain. I like age domains usually more, depending on the situation. But yeah, definitely. By fake domain, I think he meant like fake page rank, like it's showing fake page rank. From Hin. Wait, Hin. I recently made a post in the Facebook group talking about that. From Brian. And it depends how long it's been also, Hin. I do not know. I just kind of do that manually. Probably should. You can use Uptime Robot, which is free. That's uptimerobot.com. And it will notify you when your sites are down. It will email you. It's free, totally free to use. They let you do 50 sites for free. They check them every 5 minutes. You can do more than 50. You can just create another account. So I've done that. Alright, from Elizabeth. Nah, I mean, like I said, there's not really a minimum because some show no searches and they can still make a good amount of money. It's just an estimate thing they give you. So, if there's 100,000 people in a town and, town plumber is showing no searches, that's obviously not right. You know what I mean? So you gotta kind of mix, like, the amount of people in the town with the search term and kind of think, is it really possible that no one will be searching for this? So, from Jeff. So I think you're asking, like, if someone from New York types in pest control without the NY and it will your site show up? I'm not sure, Jeff. I don't know exactly how that works, to be honest. I usually just go after, like, the specific keyword. And I'm sure if that is possible, you sending strong links is only making that more of a chance of when they type in pest control of your site showing up when if they're doing it from a New York location. So I mean, but I don't know for sure. From Pete. I think you continue your question on here from Jeff. I find it easier to buy them, or yeah, just buy them. Where I just have Jimmy do them. I have that luxury, luckily. There's people probably in the Facebook group that offer that kind of service. You can pay them to do it, or you can get Fiverr. It depends on the competition. So. As long as you don't keep repeating the keywords like on the inner pages and stuff, Pete, you should be fine using them in description. From Vadim. I personally don't link to my PBNs, Vadim. I think that's what you're asking. But I mean, that's just me. I don't take the time to do that because I can just go get a new site from Steve. Um, the only problem I've had, Steve, is actually, let me get a new one. Is if I have like my domain.com/URL, you got to play with having a slash on the end or not in your in the code in the widget thing. So if you have these on, take them off. If you don't have them on, put them on and see if that works. A couple people have had problems with it showing up in the sidebar, and it might be like a theme thing. I've never had that problem, so. From Brian. I mean, I'd usually just keep sending links with small alterations. If you haven't hit the exact match anchor, definitely hit that with the strongest link you have. Remember, these links are taking a little longer to kick in, it seems now. So, de-index, Gary, means that it's no longer in Google. Okay, so Google's no longer showing the site. From Jack. Yep, Jack, that video is actually done. We were just waiting for something from my Network Empire side to where they can like get something set up for you guys for it. So, but I shot the video; it's done. It should be ready soon. We're just waiting for some confirmation on some stuff. From Vadim. You just want to make sure the post stays on the home page, Vadim. And we talk about that in the content a lot. It varies, Ted. Some videos it's weird, like they'll start moving up like a couple months later. I don't know what that's about, but that's been happening more lately where I'll hit a video with a bunch of links and it won't budge until like a month or two later. And sometimes they move right away. So I mean, yeah, you can overdo anything, I would say. But video is definitely harder to overdo. From Brian. Very cool, Brian. Alright, from Pete. I mean, all that doesn't, it's not everything, Pete. You have to see the actual backlinks for it and stuff. I'm sure you can. I'm sure it would help rankings, but to know for sure, I would probably have to see the links to it. From Ken. Yeah, just what I do is I just go to Google. I type in keyword planner, and I click right here. And it'll just ask you to log in. I don't know why my internet's going so slow. Alright, so then you just sign into AdWords with a Google account, and it'll take you right to the Google Keyword Planner. I mean, that's how I get in. From Vadim. Yeah, I'd be careful with that, Vadim. Because you have watch repair, watch repair, watch repair, 3 times. So you're not going to be able to get away with as much of watch repair in your anchor text. So just be very careful with that. I would have probably just done, since it's all about watch repair, probably would have done watch repair littletonco.com/city name. Littleton CO or whatever. Yeah, then you also have Littleton CO in here again. So yeah, I would be very, very careful with that. Yeah, and M says there a live PBN example in my videos. It's probably like just an example site. But I'd probably set it up how I would a normal PBN. From Brian. Yeah, that's one of the good things about that, Brian, is you can get away with a lot more. Now, with that said, I wouldn't keep hitting it with the same exact anchor text over and over, because Google is a machine; they can probably pick up patterns. So if you go from all this different anchor text to all of a sudden you have, electronic cigarette, electronic cigarette, electronic cigarette, like over the same anchor text over and over and over again, then that might pick up a flag. So I would at least change it, like electronic cigarette, e-cigarette, e-cig, maybe hit electronic cigarette again. Electric cigarette, just change it up a little bit. You can hit your keyword more aggressively, but I would change it up still, just so you don't keep doing the same keyword over and over every link you do. From Farhan. It just depends on the niche and the competition and the strength of the PBNs. Too much stuff that it depends on to answer that. From Vadim. No. When I'm penalized, I usually just start over. Honestly, I mean it's a mess when you get penalized for over optimization. Usually. Just with spreadsheets done. I show how I do my PBNs in the training. I mean, for all my sites, I kind of just folder, spreadsheets, stuff like that. Everyone has their own way of doing that, I would say. Just gotta find what works for you. And I probably could be more organized with that. Not necessarily, Mandy. I do have some money sites. Actually, KLKS is on a server with a bunch of my PBNs. So, I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to be extra careful, then you can put them on different servers. I mean, I usually do try to, but I definitely have money sites that aren't. So, it probably won't hurt you, but if you want to be extra careful. From Janet. I don't know, Janet. I haven't messed much with redirects, so I couldn't tell you on that. Not totally sure. From Tom James. You don't need to dedicate PBNs to just, one site. You're saying like group your PBNs. Yeah, I mean I do that sometimes to kind of keep my PBNs separate. Maybe if one gets taken out, the other will still be there because it's not linking. They're not linking to cross-linking sites. But with that said, I've had a network for a long time. I haven't had a problem yet. So again, that's just kind of like an extra safety precaution. From Farhan. Increase traffic. I mean, Google won't increase any traffic from that necessarily. You might get more traffic from that page ranking better, but I mean that's not going to send any more traffic to it. It's just going to help it rank better, which could get it more traffic. I do have SEO hosting on a bunch of my sites, but only because I've used them. Because I just don't feel like changing it. They're not horrible. They're not as good as they used to be. So, from Heidi. Cool. From Farhan. I mean, the only thing you can really do is try to push up other pages to push out the bad review, which they call reputation management. So there's not much else you can do. I don't believe. From Pete. I mean, it depends on what your domain name is. How much anchor text you have with it, titles, all that stuff. I'm sure. From Wayne. I use Ahrefs to look at stuff like anchor text ratio, then they have like charts and stuff I like looking at. So this is more for like determining how hard something is to rank, determining how many links the site has, and then for analyzing expired domains, I use OpenSite Explorer. Which is this tool here. So those are the two that I use. The hell did my thing go? There it is. Alright, from Elizabeth. Definitely still links, Elizabeth. I don't think I've bought YouTube views and Facebook likes on Fiverr. I use more like known services for that, but yeah, buying links is still fine. From Pete. Yeah, again, that depends on domain name and all that stuff. From Janet. It depends. I mean, I guess personal preference. I would definitely rank for SEO, city SEO, and city, probably both. But I don't think that's super important if it's in your business name or not. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. From Wahing. They can be, but it's more rare. From Jeremy. Jeremy, I talked about this in the new video I did about a week ago. Check that out. It's in the members area. And I went into pretty good detail for that. From Pete. I mean, I spend hours a day, Pete. You just get better at finding them as you go on. You can pay a broker if you want. Some people do that, but I like doing it myself and looking for sites myself. So. From Ken. Yeah, I mean, where I was, Ken, I just, again, I'll click on sign to AdWords. I'll put in my email and password, sign in, and I get to the keyword tool. If it doesn't take you there when you sign in, go back to Google and type it again as you're signed in. If I've signed in now and I hit this again, then it should take me right to the tool. Alright. I don't even use keyword like ranking trackers, Jeff. I use Microsite Masters. That's just me. I don't really know about any of the other ones from Pete. Yeah, it's like $4.95 a year to bid on auction, something like that. From Janet. Oops. I wouldn't say either's best, Janet. Sometimes I use EMDs and they just rank like crazy and they can't be beaten. But then sometimes they're a pain because, if you mess up a little optimization, it's like they never move up. So it's like a double-edged sword where you can really win with them or they can cause you a headache. So it just depends what you want to do. From Wahine. Not necessarily a certain writer. Again, I let partners take care of that. I don't worry about like my content and stuff because I don't really want to focus on that. From Evan. If you're already ranking, well, you could do either way, but since the homepage kind of talks about, it's kind of like more about SEO, you might want to put a page on web design. And we actually did that with NashvilleSEO.org. We did NashvilleSEO.org/webdesign. So I would probably do like IndustrySEO.com/webdesign. Or web design services is fine. So yeah, I would probably create a page just because SEO and web design are pretty different. And if people are going to the home page looking for web design, they see SEO stuff, it might not convert. So I mean that's the only reason I wouldn't do it. And then you can also optimize the title for that page to be about web design. So yeah, I would probably go with the page on web design in that case. As many as you want, Pat. I do a ton. sometimes. From Elizabeth. There's sites like TubeViews, and places like that. And you can also post in the Facebook group and ask, where people are getting theirs from. Because there's some people in there that have a lot more experience than me with likes and buy. Because I usually just do links, and that's usually enough for me. So I haven't really even done views in a while. But I know they still work, because I know people who use them still beforehand. I usually start with one and just see how it reacts and move up from there. From Jack. Again, I'll post in the Facebook group about that. But I've used TubeViews, something like that. There's another one I've used. I forget the name of it. But yeah, post in the Facebook group, and anyone that's using that will probably chime in. So I haven't used a service in a little while for that. From Pat. Nice, Pat. From Vadim. I'm not there's directions on that online, Vadim. Again, I'll keep it more SEO for this. I'm not going with that technical stuff. From Steve. Because you can link from the Facebook page to your money site, Steve. It just helps you kind of look more like a real person. You have Facebook, you're connected. You're kind of like breadcrumbs, like I talk about in the videos. For Qzx from Elizabeth. Anything from the Qzx service guy that I've talked about. And his name is, in case you haven't heard me talk about him, just go do a search for Qzx service. And I'll usually start with some type of social, and then you can do like blog comments, link pyramids, high PR. From Tom. No, you can just edit the links, Tom. I would use more I wouldn't use general. I never really use general anchor text. It's always kind of keyword related. From Ken. On this computer I'm not logged in, and I forget my darn email password, Ken. So I can't get in because I always change it now. I forget it, but it should be. It's the one that says like get searches or something like that. There should be like 4 things over here. You see, I think it's like the second one down. It says like get search volume for like group of keywords or something like that. But yeah, sorry, I'm locked out of my account on this computer. It's saved on my other one. Let's see. Alright, we are out of questions, so I'm going to let, if anyone has any more questions, I'm going to give it a couple minutes to roll in. Oops. I mean, Black Hat SEO. You have a chance at short-term, quick rankings. Usually, most Black Hat SEO. from Josh. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. I would say they're both about the same. Maybe the 4-letter beats it a little bit because it's shorter and it's aged. But, I mean, not too much difference, I would say. I'm not using the sniper program, Jeff. I just use I just do it manually. That's just me personally. I just have my own way, of course, of doing things. I've always stuck with it. You don't have to, Tony, because you can implement them on existing blog network sites if you want. You can. The easiest thing to do if you want to wait for that would be to, you can still build the sites, but don't put any content on them yet for what you want to use it for, because it can be a little more confusing if you already have content on there. Oh, no problem, Ken. Hopefully you figure that out. I'll try to find my login. If you don't, I'll get it next time for you. Alright, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's just in the supremacy section, Elizabeth. Yeah, actually, I have college basketball on in the background. I think it's halftime. So, from Ken. I don't have an example, Ken. I would ask Fletch for that because he has a ton of them, from what I believe, and he's very good at that. From Cheryl. I don't know, Cheryl. I don't really try not to worry about what I can't control when it does come. We'll see how it plays out. You know what I mean? I try not to worry about what I can't control. Heidi. Yeah, David's really good at kind of organizing things and letting people know how to approach things and where to go. And he recently made a video, kind of like an orientation video, Heidi. It's like 45 minutes long. He explains everything. I would watch that video if you haven't, because it's been helping some people. Not many, Steve. For PBNs, Link Juice Keeper, what else do we use? Spider Spanker. Now you can use Google XML sitemaps if you want. I haven't even been using that lately. Money sites, Yoast to help control your titles. Axmet to block comment spam. That should be already on there. Google XML sitemaps. That's about it. I don't use a lot of plugins. From Bob. I have used Sparkle. I think they all rank the same. It's just an upload video to YouTube. So you're welcome, Janet. Let's see if we got any more questions coming in. 'Cause it's still before 10:30. Yep, coming out soon. Very soon. We're waiting for Network Empire crew to get some stuff finished. The video's done that I made, so from Arthur. I don't know what plugin you're talking about, Arthur, so I'm not sure. From Dan. Uh, it's hard to say because it could be just overall link quality. Because you said you have links to it from before Product X. Because too many low quality links will kill a site real quick. It says when you start getting like in the 80, I don't know, like 100 range, somewhere around there, it really gets to be a stickler for low quality links. So I'd have to see a site. Really depends. From Evan. Probably not Evan. Unless the other 20 links are very good. Probably not. You're welcome. From Jeff. Awesome, Jeff. You can, Steve. It doesn't matter. Because I think they show up when we start either way. So we got thank yous. See if we got more questions. So it looks like no more questions. Yeah, the Death Star Reloaded is... So I'll explain this really quick. The Death Star Reloaded is going to be free for you guys. It's a bonus. It's a way to help increase the power of your PBNs. And it's also, it's going to... I think it's something that's going to help, like, long term. It's going to help keep our PBNs healthy and help our sites rank better that we link to from. So, and Jerry says he thinks the free plugin is Link Juice Keeper, and it's on the Supremacy page for whoever asked that. Alright, so we got no more questions, so I'm going to end this now and put it in the bag. I'm probably going to set the next... the plugin Heidi was Link Juice Keeper, and it's in on the Supremacy page. I'll probably do the next session on Saturday, probably like 2 or 3 o'clock Eastern, so in the afternoon Eastern time, and then we'll do another one, next week, probably midweek, something like that. I've been trying to do like 3 every 2 weeks or something like that for you guys instead of once a week. All right. Alright guys, I'm going to end this webinar now. Thanks for coming, and I will see you guys Thursday if you're going to show up. Talk to y'all soon. And since there's not as many people on as usual, I can start, going more in depth with questions. As I said in the beginning, the more time that goes on, the less people that will come on the webinars, the more in depth I can go in questions and stuff, so... Alright, so this is from Graham. I can't make tonight. Let's see. He said in my video, because I shot the video on, PBNs, clearing it up, how you can link out together and all that. He said we should only have one OG link per PBN. I don't know what OG is. Probably outbound, he meant to say. You don't have to have only one outbound link. Authority link. I use more than that sometimes. Okay, pointing to a money site. Yeah, just one link per URL. If you add more to the same URL, you're kind of just wasting the link. I mean, you're not wasting it, but there's just no point in doing it. Alright? You can do it if you want. Supposedly what happens is they take the first anchor text you use, and that's what gets counted. So if I write up an article and I link to the same URL 10 times... Supposedly what happens is they take that first anchor text and they use that. Alright, and the other ones kind of get ignored as far as that goes. So he's asking why don't I do that? It's more because it's just, again, it's kind of pointless. I mean, you can do it, but again, you're not going to get like extra credit for those other links. Alright, so in my early days of the OMG, I set up a money site. I'm going to just read this question because it's a little harder to see for you guys probably. Set up a money site where I have 3 links per PBN going to the same money site URL. I had to use more than one per PBN as I have a limited number of PBN sites and needed more link juice to rank. Secondly, I am currently finding that whatever I do, I just cannot get to the #1 slot in any of my niches. Some are very low count, 250 searches per month, but still can only get to number 4 or 5. The cost of getting enough PBNs to rank higher is for me is becoming too much, especially as I'm not generating any income. So I would just make sure you check on your anchor text. You got to play with your anchor text and your title tags, and also depends what your URL is. And just because it's 250 per month doesn't mean that it's not hard. I go after terms that are 250 per month that I'm not #1 for. It depends who's up top. What the search term is, what niche it's in. A lot of stuff in the health niche. It could be what looks like easy keywords, and then you got Wikipedia ranking, you got WebMD ranking. And those can be sometimes hard to beat out. And again, it also depends on the length of the search. If it's, the longer the search is, the easier it is to rank for in most cases, because you can optimize for that. And you can build an anchor text with that specific anchor in there. So it also depends how long it is. So, without more information, I can't tell you, if it's easy or hard, like you're saying. But just because it's a low count doesn't mean it's easy. Alright, and also depends on the niche and the strength of your PBNs, what you're using for your anchor text. But also remember my post in the Facebook group how I went over that PBN links are taking longer to fully kick in it seems. Where I'll put in a link and sometimes they get a big boost right away, sometimes a little boost right away, sometimes a medium boost right away, and then further down the line I'll get another boost, whether it be big, little, medium. So just wait for those to fully kick in as well. Alright, so can you please cover the following approach to keyword research? If you find longer tail keywords and then check them in all-in title, is this a guide to their rankability? I mean, it can help. That's kind of like looking for PBNs where, the page rank isn't the end-all be-all. That's just one of the things that helps us determine if it's going to be hard to rank for. Alright. If keywords have a lower volume of results using all-in title, does this necessarily make them easier to rank? Not necessarily. Again, it depends on the niche and all that stuff. I mean, for the most part, I guess you can say it does. If you see a lower number, it's better news, but it doesn't necessarily mean a low number is easy. All right. In competitive markets, I watched some training recently that said find many such keywords and rank one page for each term on a single site or across many sites. They felt these terms should take less to rank them. As an example for you and not for the public. Oh, I didn't. Do e-cigarettes cause cancer? Has 390 monthly searches in Google and only gets 364 results in all-in title. Should this therefore be easier to rank? I mean, not necessarily. Again, because it's talking about cancer for one thing, so that's going to probably have a lot of authority sites in there. So let's go to Google. I just want to put this in quotes. And look who's ranking. TheWheat.com, Daily.co.uk, Answers.yahoo, Wikipedia, CASA, TD Smoke, Vaporview, online PR news. So a lot of bigger sites, especially up top here, The Week, Daily, Yahoo, and Wikipedia are the top 4. Anytime you see something that has like cancer in it or something like that, it's going to be very hard to rank for, and it's probably not going to be worth it. I mean, and just think of this keyword here. Do e-cigarettes cause cancer? That's not really a keyword you would want to go after. All right, so and sorry, I didn't see you said no. This is not for the public, but you don't want to go after this anyways because people most likely aren't going to type this in to do a purchase. Okay, people are more typing this in to do research. All right. So a person who's typing this in, they're not ready to buy. They may be like in the process, like, okay, first I'm going to find out if they're safe, and then I'm going to go and search and find out, okay, I find out that they may or may not cause cancer. I decide to believe they don't. So now I'm going to go look for the right cigarette. So then they're going to go type in another search term, which e-cigarette is the best, or what's the best e-cigarette, something like that. All right, so a search term like this, especially for how hard it's going to be. It's not that it's going to be hard to rank, but compared to what you're going to get out of it, it's not worth trying to rank for something like this. And let me just not put it in quotes and see who shows up. And again, if you type it without quotes, number one is cancer.org. Okay. Again, remember how I said they're talking about cancer? I just know from experience that anything with cancer in it, or like a big medical term, that the front page is going to be filled with huge authority sites. Okay. Because they don't want some affiliate site telling people about cancer. They want big authority sites. And there's cancer.org, number one. PennLive.com is number two. FHCRC.org, so that's probably like some type of organization. The Week is number four. Washington Paper, Fox News, Today.com, Cancer.net. So a lot of larger authority sites filling up this, which is what I expect. So you're going to be filling with a lot of big authority sites for a term that is most likely is going to give you nothing. Again, people are not searching this to buy, they're searching this to do some research. So just think of that anytime you do your keyword selection. And let's see. And yeah, I think long tail keywords are a great way to go, but not keywords like this. Always think about why someone is searching this. In this case, it's to do research. Okay, we want people to be searching it because I'm ready to buy. Green smoke versus V2 cigs. That person is saying, okay, I know about these two e-cigarettes. I know they're both good. I want to compare them and pick one of them. Or which e-cigarette is best. Okay, that person is in buy mode. They're ready to buy, and they're trying to figure out what's the best deal, what's the best cigarette to buy. So stuff like that is good long tail keywords, like which e-cigarette should I buy, stuff like that. Opposed to this, which is again is research stuff. All right, so let's take care of the questions that were not live. Now let's go to the live questions. I did record, right? All right, good. All right, so Brian is first here. I use Thesaurus and my brain both, Brian. Yeah, and you can do that. And you can always add a word on. I try to use my exact keyword as little as possible. I like to stay around I like to stay under 5% if I can. Again, it really depends on how many links are there. If you have 5 links and 1 out of 5 is your exact, that's 20%. But, the more you go up in links, the less I want that number to be. Okay, so 20% is fine if you only have 5 links, because that's 1 out of 5. But if you have 100, you don't want 20 out of 100. I would maybe want 2 or 3 out of 100, 4 or 5 max probably. So when I start getting with that many links, I want to be down near like 5%. But yeah, to find keywords, you can just, like if you type in best e-cigarette, you can type this in the Google keyword tool, and then you can also come down here, okay? So you can do this as an anchor text. Best e-cigarette on the market. It's going to help you rank for best e-cigarette, and it's also going to help you rank for best e-cigarette on the market, which is a long tail keyword. A lot of people probably won't try to go after that. So with you using the exact anchor text for that, you'll probably rank very well for that, okay? And then you also help yourself rank for best e-cigarette. So I do stuff like that. You can do best e-cigarette reviews year, the best e-cigarette with year. So I mean, there's tons and tons of things that you can add for your anchor text. All right, let's see. Anders. Anders, I would email David. It's david@omgmachines.com. He does all the structuring, so he'll let you know the best way to go for that. The phone number? What do you mean by the phone number service, Heidi? Let me know about that. Cheryl. I mean, it depends what you're trying to do, Cheryl. If you're building like a brand, like, we did OMG Machines. When we got OMG Machines, we got the .com, .net, and .org, I believe. We got all three because we're building a brand. All right, if you're just getting a normal website, you just need one. So it depends on what purpose you're getting it for. All right, let me go get a new screenshot. Can you use any 404 redirect? I don't know what you mean by that, Rich. I think you're talking about Link Juice Keeper. I mean, Link Juice Keeper just, it says if this page no longer exists, redirect the link to the home page. From Dave. Nah, Dave, I mean, you can really do a lot of links on a PBN. I never even come even close to, what we consider tapping out, probably. I mean, just think about it. There's pages out there on the internet that have thousands of links on them. Even like regular organic sites that have thousands of links on them. So you really could go over what I say. I just kind of say that as like a safety measure. And the fact that I go nowhere near that, so I don't really have the testing data for it. But just what I see on the internet, I mean, you can do a lot of links and get away with it. So, from Mike. You can start building it now, Mike. That will just help you make them stronger. Oh, OG is outgoing. Thanks, Heidi. Bob. I usually just install that plugin Axomet and just let that do its work, and I don't worry about the comments. From Patrick. I mean, you can do that, Patrick, but I just use them directly to my money sites. I don't do PBN to PBN. From Anthony. Can I only send links from one article? Check the video I recently did, Anthony, about that. I did about 3 weeks ago. If you got like Slate.com, cars, page one, whatever, that would, I recommend no more than 3 links from one PBN, and you can go higher than that. But again, that's just to be safe, and you just don't want to keep going over that because you can run into trouble. So you could do like that's, URL 1, then maybe you have Slate.com. You want to link to cars. That's 2, and Slate.com. Maybe you have like, from the same article. You probably wouldn't want to link to something different than cars because it's going to be about a cars article. And then you do like page 2. So yeah, you could do all 3 of those in the same article. But then I wouldn't link to this site again from that PBN just because you already have 3 properties going to it. With a tool like Ahrefs, shows it really well. And I want to show you why I recommend not doing more than 3. I don't know, let's just go find omgmachines.com. Alright, let's go down. Alright, so if you look here, they take all this into effect, where they have, total links and also total referring domains and total. This is why we use unique IPs. If you have 119 referring domains and you only have like 1 different IP, that means all of the sites on the same IP are linking to you, which would do you no good, right? Like they know that something's going on there. So that's, this is why we use different IPs. And this is also why I recommend not going over 3, because if you keep doing like 3, 5, 10, I'm talking about links going to a PBN or links going to a money site from one PBN. These numbers are going to inflate or I'm sorry, this number is going to inflate and this number is going to keep deflating. All right, and the more difference there is between these, then the higher chance you have of getting hit with something where they're saying, okay, that's unnatural. So that's why I recommend keeping it at 3. And again, it's not that you can't go over 3. You know, if you did a whole bunch of 1s, yeah, you could do a 5 or a 6. All right, but I just kind of say the 3 to make that even, kind of like that average. All right, sometimes I'll do 1, sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes 3. Rarely do I go over 3, and I don't even really talk about that just because that goes into to more complicated stuff. But if you've done a whole bunch of 1s, yeah, you can do 4s, 5s, 6s, but just don't do it too much. You know, we're just trying to keep these numbers in balance. We don't want these to be too far off. And this also looks like I have a site-wide length, so this looks, you know, greater than it is, but that's what we're talking about here. That's why I recommend that. Send me a request, Rich.